What's going on, everybody? This is Goofy Rexy. I hope you guys are all doing well today. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the top 5, actually I might throw in a 6th one in there, top 5 or 6 changes that I would like to see here in Marvel Strike Force. So obviously this is my list. You probably have your list too as well. So we're probably going to have some similarities when it comes to lists here. So for me, this really got prompted. We had this recent blog post here talking about the changes that they're going to be making for the Pym Tech team. If you haven't seen it, we can actually just dive into it right now, to be honest with you. So right here, the future updates to Greek raid traits for the Pym Tech team is that recently there have been some questions from the community regarding the current trait requirements for the Greek raids Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, and they will be updated when the raid difficulty selector is introduced. Simultaneously, which is the big one right here, we've been reading some player feedback on the I call it the Pym Tech team, which acknowledges that they are a powerhouse team in Dark Dimension, kinda, maybe only Ghost, but that it would be nice for them to have some additional value in other game modes as well. The team is taking action on both of these pieces of feedback in one stroke by announcing future changes to the Greek raid trait requirements after the raid difficulty selector has been implemented. So it's talked about how this potentially is going to be in mid-December, but the changes are going to be that they're currently hand Kree will become Kree and Pym Tech. You know, nodes that are currently Kree and Ravager will become Pym Tech and Wakandan, and the nodes that are currently hand Kree and Ravager will become Kree, Pym Tech, and Pym Tech. Remember that, and Wakandan as well. So first of all, they missed the ball here. Ain't nobody asked for that. Ain't nobody asked for that, to be honest with you. So nobody asked for them to make that change. We just asked for you to make the team better. That's it. That's all we asked for you, to make them better. Not just change where they're going to be used, because we're not convinced that they're better. Right now, I think a lot of people are saying Ghost is really the only good character for Dark Dimension, for at this current moment. I think, too as well, that maybe Yellow Jacket might be viable, options like that. But the biggest thing is, and I think also they said that the team overall might be a good war defense team, but who needs another war defense team? Now, I do want to note, this is only for the nodes that do have these particular character tags. So you're still going to be able to use your other teams in those other nodes, right? So I don't want to over panic anyone here. It's just for the nodes that have these specific tags in them. But this kind of prompted my first change that I would actually like to see them make in the game. The first change that I actually want to see them make, I would like for them to change the idea or change the way that they're kind of forcing you to use characters. So obviously right now, Pym Tech is going to have a Dark Dimension and a raid tag, similar to how you have raid traits that they're going to be really good in, or areas where they're going to be good in terms of their kits. Obviously the symbiote team is phenomenal, but they're phenomenal in those areas, but they're also phenomenal outside of that. For me, the biggest one that bothers me the most is still war. It's war defense, right? You have these characters, She-Hulk, Red Skull, Taskmaster, and we could continue to list on, that have come into the game and that specifically have this like war defense juggernaut sort of kind of abilities. But it would have been nice if they just given us the war tag, right? Just war. Don't make it war offense. Don't make it war defense. Just make it war, period. That's really kind of been my frustration is, hey, I have my Taskmaster, I have my Red Skull, but I only see them on defense if I get some war wins. If I do PvP, which I don't like PvP that much, then my Taskmaster is going to be great in PvP, which I've done. I've used him in some attacks and he's been phenomenal. But the point is, I don't really have the flexibility to be able to use him. Even if it was just war, I could use him on offense too. I would be able to get those same boosts. I would like if they just kind of change it up a little bit to give us more flexibility where that is concerned. I don't mind the raid specific or the Dark Dimension specific teams. I also want them to be good outside of just those particular areas too. So that would be my first change, right? That would be my first change. Change it so that you could actually use some of these characters outside of those areas, or if you're going to specifically slot them for war, like you did with Sinister Six, like you did with the Avengers, just give them the war tag so that it can be both good on offense and on defense. Same thing with the Marauders. They're good on war defense, get a lot of defensive wins, but I would like to see them interact too as well on war offense. As Guardians, sometimes you want to use them on war offense, right? So just kind of give us a little bit of flexibility where that is concerned. The next thing that I actually wanted to dive into here was actually talking about your auto basic. So this is actually something that was brought up by, so I'm going to give credit to this. I'm going to shout out here to you, QLE, well, QLE0414. So this is an auto basic attack button. This has actually been something that has been talked about recently before, but it's been talked about a lot more now with the recent use of the Symbiote team, who you do a lot of basicing with when you're doing your raids, your Ultimus raids. So it would be nice to be able to have that sort of QOL feature. Actually, what he talked about here, QOL is a quality of life feature where you're able to do auto basicing. Now, I don't know how complex this would be, you know, for Marvel Strike Force to be able to do, but I do think that it should be something that is considered. I'm not quite sure if, you know, anyone has actually even considered the option of giving the auto basic button. So please, Scopely, holla at your boy. Let us know whether or not you're considering the auto basic button, because it would be a nice feature. There's some other teams that you use in raids that you probably basic a lot with too. I know BKT back in the day was a team that you basic a lot with too. I know that if you're using like other character tags, like your Hydra team, that you probably use them, you know, to do a lot of basics too as well, you know, when you're going through your Greek raid. So just having that little added, like I said, flexibility for us to be able to kind of have that auto basic quality of life feature, you know, I think would be nice little added change, you know, that I feel that they should implement too as well. The next thing on my list here, guys, is actually wanted to talk about this here, save squads. We talked about save squads enough, but I got to bring it up again because I don't want them to forget about it. They've given us some extra slots. It was 25, now we're up to 30. You know, I want them to still add tabs. You know, give us the flexibility here of being able to have some additional tabs, because this main save squad is really only good for your blitz rotation, right? That's really all it's for. It's just for your blitz rotations. But it would be nice if they added some additional tabs for your raid and then add some additional tabs for war. Because if you're like me, there are times where you use some war teams on defense and on offense. You know, you're using them on defense as opposed to using them on offense, like Asgardians. Asgardians do have that flexibility, you know, on war defense and on war offense. Sometimes you just want to be able to switch up and change, you know, just the positioning of the team, you know, but you can't even do that because you can't even select and move a character around. You have to completely create a whole different save squad. So it's like two things, right? Adding some tabs and then adding some flexibility where you can actually just drag and drop and move around some characters so that you don't necessarily have to go through like saving a whole new squad. Like, does that make sense? Saving a whole new squad just so that you can move a character around? It doesn't make sense. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. So I would like for them to be able to change that feature, add some tabs so that we can also have some, because I hate when I have to go in, I'm saving a team for alpha raids, and then, okay, 2 weeks later, here comes beta, and then I gotta delete my alpha raid team, and I gotta throw in my beta raid teams. Like, come on, man, give me some of that flexibility to be able to save those squads in another tab that's just specifically for my raids. That would be dope if you guys could do that for us. Really add some quality, you know, to the game for me. Another thing that I wanted to change to as well is, so Red Star promotional credits. You get them, you add them up. You're getting them a little bit more frequently now, you know, because of your completing your daily assignments, Chaos Theory, right? So you're having a little bit more that you can use to be able to upgrade characters. My big issue though with Red Star promotional credits is that you can't really use them at the time when you want. So you build up your 50, you build up your 100, your 150, right? You build up those amounts, but then you have to wait for the Elite Store to refresh in order for you to be able to use those Red Star promotional credits. Does that sound like it makes sense? I don't think so. I don't think it makes sense at all. So I would like for them to actually add the feature where you could come right here into your character screen. You could click on where the red stars are right over in this area, and then you could just say, hey, you know what? I want to upgrade my character right here. I think that would be bonkers if they could actually do that. Not bonkers. That would be dope if they could actually do that and add that to this screen. I would be amped. I would be extremely excited if they did something like that in the game. me. I'm petitioning for it, guys. Red Star, promotionals. Allow us to do it from the character screen. Please, for your boy, for Goofy, for the community. Do it for us. That's what I'm asking you, Scope, please. Do it for us, please. You know, I would like if they were able to add that feature. Another thing, if we're going to talk about Red Stars, I also want to talk about ISOs, right? In Arena, one of my biggest things in Arena is you got to be really smart about the selections that you choose. I don't have a great team because of my Arena Sharp. My 420k team is good. Like, they're a good team, right? I got my Phoenix, I got my Emma, I got my Ebony Maw, I got my Black Bolt, got my Hella, right? But I still got to choose my options wisely. So I can come here, I can take a look, and okay, well, I can see that 7-star Ultron, I can see that 6 Red Star Phoenix, I can see that they're at gear tier 14. Great. I can see that they have the ISOs on them, like the ISO tag. Like, I can see it's Raider, I can see it's Striker, I can see that it's Skirmisher, I can see that it's Healer, right? But I can't tell what level those ISOs are. I would like to be able to know from a strategic standpoint what the ISO levels are. I think that would be a really nice, cool add. Now, I do admit that could be a little sketchy, a little difficult, but at the same time, I think that it's something that they could do. I don't think that it's unethical in any sort of which way for you to be able to see and just be able to prepare yourself, you know how to go after a character, know which character you want to take out first, not just by looking at the stars and the power level, but just from just knowing the ISOs. It would just add a little bit more strategy to how you would approach attacking a team. It's not just for Arena, it's for War, things too as well. So just being able to know, there's already added factors in where you have to consider, what type of room they're in, what type of buffs they're getting from that room. Yeah, but just being able to also be able to see what sort of level of ISOs they have on them too, I think would also be a nice little cool little added thing that I think that they could and should add to the game. The next thing and the last thing for me on the list, this is number 6, y'all, is Premium Orbs. Premium Orbs. I've talked about this a lot, and I'm gonna talk about it again until y'all change it. Premium Orbs. When I look at Premium Orbs, I say to myself, how is this a Premium Orb when you have Aim Infector in this orb? How? You let me know. How is this a Premium Orb when you have minions, period, in this orb? There is nothing premium about this orb. I think they need to change this orb and make it, please, so that it's only characters that are unfarmable, characters that you can only get in probably late game nodes, so that you can still give access to early or mid game players that don't have access to those nodes yet, but only put characters that are unfarmable, characters that you can only get in late game nodes. That's how this orb becomes premium. I think mobile gamers said it, make premium orbs premium again. I think what they should do, though, I don't want you to just completely get rid of those characters. Put those characters into like a legacy orb, right? Or the basic orb, maybe increase the drop rates on the basic orb, make legacy orbs more prevalent, more available, for players other than just buying the offers, make those more available for players to be able to get those. I think that this would add value to the premium orbs that you actually offer in the store. So I'm trying to help y'all out here. You see me, Scopely? I'm trying to help y'all out. It would be nice if you added just a little bit more value to the premium orbs. Then we probably would buy that $24.99 offer, because we know that from that premium orb, we're going to be getting premium characters. And then, like I said, just for the early and the mid game players, make sure that you still add those legacy orbs. Take the characters that are not like that, not those late game farmable characters, not those unfarmable characters, and then throw those characters into a legacy orb. Make the legacy orbs more available. Throw them into the milestone orbs. Milestone orbs are pretty much available a lot too as well now. But listen, change it, make those changes there with the orbs. I think that would improve, once again, quality, in this game, and would make you a little bit more money too, Scopely, when it comes to the prices that you put out for those premium orbs. But listen, y'all, I want to know, what are y'all thoughts in regards to things that you would change? This is just my list. This is the things that I want to be changed here in the game. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are, guys, or what changes you would like to see in the game. As well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Be blessed and y'all be safe.